You've been invited to review information about a discovery at the forefront of modern medicine. The scientist shown here is Dr. Joe McCord. His co-discovery earned him the prestigious Elliott Crescent Award, placing him in the same class of well-known innovators Nikola Tesla, Marie Curie, Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, and Henry Ford. Obviously, this award is only given to people who have made major history-changing discoveries. In 2005, ABC aired an investigative report attempting to debunk Dr. McCord and one of his products. When it aired, it showed the product worked even better than anticipated, launching it into the marketplace. Major research laboratories and universities began to invest their own money to perform multiple-year studies on this amazing breakthrough. Highly credible organizations like the American Heart Association, the University of Colorado, Harvard, LSU, Ohio State, Emory, Mass General Hospital, the National Institute of Aging, and the VA, just to name a few. Washington State University says this breakthrough may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. The two questions most people have when reviewing this information: 1, why doesn't everyone already know about this information? 2, why am I hearing about this information from an individual and not mass media? Both of these questions will be answered. Now let's hear what other MDs have to say about this breakthrough.
Dr. Chad Luxenberg, I'm an eye physician and surgeon. This is world-shattering information. It's unbelievable. I couldn't possibly communicate to you how important the whole thing is.
My reason for being in this company is a very simple one. I'm a doctor. I said, what can I do to help my patients? And I had someone come along and tell me that there was a product that was being promoted that supposedly is going to be a revolutionary product in terms of its actions on the body, and that maybe the whole world ought to be on it. And so I took a look at him and I said, get out of here, I don't want to hear you anymore. But he was persistent. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He was persistent, and so George Capote came back to me and said, look, what if I got you some science? And I said, well, if you got me some science, I will, at least because you came back, I will go read it. And I did. By the time I got through the next 2 or 3 months of reading the papers that I read, I was very, very excited. I was very, very excited because Dr. Glicini and I, he's a rheumatologist, and I work on problems every day that are called inflammatory in nature. And we all know that that's the basis of all disease processes.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease.
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress. And we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, Doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The following facts are critical in providing the backstory to answer the original questions: why doesn't everyone already know about this? And why am I hearing about this from an individual and not mass media? This will explain how we have access and are able to share this breakthrough with others. Dr. McCord wanted to ensure that this patented, history-changing formulation would be both accessible and affordable for the masses. The 2005 ABC investigative report and subsequent 2006 University of Colorado peer-reviewed study shocked the scientific world, sending the media into a frenzy. The study had proven that Protandim reduced oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. Big box retailers CVS, GNC, Rite Aid, and Walgreens cumulatively placed multi-million-dollar orders. Major pharmaceutical companies stepped forward, offering Dr. McCord immense sums of money. He refused the enormous financial offers. When asked why, he simply stated, "We did not share the same values." However, by the end of 2008, retail sales averaged less than one bottle per store per month, creating debts of $20 million. Despite the retail crisis, Dr. McCord still refused to sell the formulation to the pharmaceutical companies. But the stunning discovery had already immediately triggered a landslide of ongoing, independently funded scientific research launched by highly credible medical organizations, major universities, and the U.S. government. 2009 changed everything. The product was removed from retail shelves and launched via word-of-mouth distribution. At the same time, the independent peer-reviewed studies began to trickle in, and within 11 years, an astonishing 22 studies appeared on PubMed.gov. Let's briefly view the current number of published studies for Protandim, as well as how oxidative stress accompanies and is attached to hundreds of other medical condition studies listed on PubMed.gov. Word-of-mouth distribution, along with validated studies, propelled the company from $20 million in debt to $200 million in annual global sales and climbing. Here's a small sample of the growing data published on Protandim. The American Heart Association conducts its own multi-year, multi-million-dollar studies and in 2009 published its report that Protandim prevents internal scarring, reduces a factor in heart disease by 50%, and significantly reduces fibrosis. LSU published their peer-reviewed study validating that Protandim reduced tumor incidence by 33% and tumor multiplicity by 57%. And the most groundbreaking news yet is from the National Institute of Aging, part of the NIH. This 10-year U.S. government study has now proven that Protandim is the only natural substance that extends life. The legacy that Dr. McCord co-created is now a publicly traded company with 7 patents operating in 10 countries. In a recent Forbes article, LifeVantage was ranked number 5 among all U.S. public companies for revenue growth and listed on the Russell 3000 Index. They are changing the global health landscape. The only reason we are able to have this conversation today is Dr. McCord's compassion, wisdom, insight, and insistence that his discovery be both accessible and affordable for everyone. Now let's view a brief company video about Protandim.
Introducing LifeVantage, a publicly traded company at the forefront of nutrigenomics. Our first breakthrough in nutrigenomics came with the discovery of the NRF2 protein, also known as the master regulator of the body's stress response. Aging and many of its unwanted problems are linked to the breakdown of our body's cells caused by oxidative stress, damage from an overload of free radicals. Our patented Protandim NRF2 Synergizer stimulates the NRF2 protein, resulting in the body producing its own powerful, protective antioxidant enzymes, and is the only supplement proven in a clinical study to reduce oxidative stress in humans by an average of 40% in 30 days, therefore reducing lipid peroxidation to the level of a much younger individual. A recent peer-reviewed study from Washington State University calls NRF2 activation one of the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthroughs in the history of medicine. In a $3.4 billion antioxidant supplement industry, Protandim stands out as the key to making antioxidants rather than taking them. But there's another problem linked to aging that you need to fix: the breakdown of your mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of your cells. They make adenosine triphosphate, the fuel that pumps your heart, supports muscle growth, and encourages healthy brain function. And because mitochondria are the source of 95% of your body's energy, as your mitochondria decay, so does your energy level. Protandim NRF1 Synergizer is a new breakthrough that supports mitochondria production and reverses the impact of cellular aging. When you combine both Protandim products, you reduce oxidative stress and help your body support mitochondria production so that you can have healthy, energetic, and youthful cells. Our next breakthrough was when we leveraged our unique knowledge of the NRF2 protein and developed an industry-first NRF2 enhanced skincare system, TrueScience. A further breakthrough in nutrigenomic research led to the formulation of Physique, a comprehensive approach designed to recharge and balance your body's natural weight management system. An additional breakthrough in nutrigenomics was when LifeVantage discovered a way to unlock your brain's potential with AxioSmart Energy. The power of our continuing nutrigenomics research led us to new discoveries in NRF2 activation in canines. And so we developed Canine Health. Our insatiable appetite to understand the power of nutrigenomics has led to breakthrough products that have been highlighted on national television networks like ABC, NBC, and PBS. They have also been reported in the Wall Street Journal and in peer-reviewed studies published in major medical journals. LifeVantage, at the forefront of nutrigenomics.
Protandim interacts with the DNA in your cells and causes the cells to make more of a set of genes called survival genes. The ingredients in Protandim were actually selected because they are largely metabolized by the liver, which does not interfere with most prescription drugs, which are generally metabolized by the kidneys. So, yes, it is safe. The immediate benefits of Protandim are within several days, the biochemical markers of oxidative stress begin to decrease. And while these are immediate improvements, you may not sense that these things are happening, just as you can't sense what your cholesterol level is, if it's high or low. But nonetheless, these benefits start happening within days of taking Protandim. The advantages to taking Protandim in the long term are that it protects your body from the relentless progression of free radical damage as we age. The anti-aging aspect of Protandim is one that accumulates over time, so the longer you take it, the more protection you will sustain. Missing a dose of Protandim is not a big problem. It takes about 2 weeks for the effects to go away. So if you miss it for 2 weeks, you're pretty much back to where you started from.
So this company is called LifeVantage. And since the company is a publicly traded company, we're required to show you our income disclosure report. This is ours. Here's our pay levels, 1 through 10, 10 being the highest level this company has. These are monthly averages that people are falling into, from 1 all the way down to the highest level. And if you look, halfway through the ranks in this company for monthly averages, halfway through the ranks, that income is replacing the average American household's income. So let me show you how this works. An MLM company, or network marketing company, is structured to build a 2 to 5 year plan that can actually pay out for generations. But you don't just have to look into an MLM to have this sort of payout. You can buy into different franchises, from burger franchises to store franchises. One franchise, an example, is a burger franchise I used to look into. The burger franchise, just to buy into the initial business, was $2.1 million. Now my overhead to run that franchise was about 20, 30 grand a month. Then I was going to net every month about a $10,000 return, which is not a lot for that type of investment. And so what do most people do? They set up multiple locations of those franchises. Because can you sell more burgers with one franchise or with 100? These are structured to build a 2 to 5 year asset that once it's developed, it will actually pay out royalty income for generations to come, just like MLMs. The problem is, why can't the average person develop this? Money. The 2.1 million. So that's whenever I really started looking into this MLM industry. And that's when, if you actually look it up, people like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or Donald Trump, they support MLMs. And that's because it gives the average person like us the ability to develop this type of generational income without investing this. So that's where network marketing comes into play. LifeVantage's highest buy into the company is $1,250, of which the company actually gives you $1,300 back in product value. The burger franchise wasn't even going to give me a burger for that. This gives me almost all back in product. Now, to buy into this company, LifeVantage, the overhead is what they require is that you use or consume $200 a month in products, or your customers. So essentially, as long as you use the products, you'll qualify for your paycheck. So here's how it works. The first person you sign up in the business, LifeVantage will pay you $400 about a week out. So as many people as you want to sign up, you get paid $400 per person. So let's say we sponsor in 6 people. 6 people times 400 just nets you $2,400. Now you just doubled your initial investment. Let's say you get some customers. Every customer you sign up on their first order, LifeVantage will also give you a 40% cut of their product order. Now both those checks are paid out within a week. But I wasn't about this. I was about the royalty income that once it's developed for generations. And here's where this comes into play. Let's say this is you. And you know your friend Wade. And Wade knows a really good friend named Mike. And Mike has a really good friend named Zoe. Do you think Wade knows people that you don't know? Do you think Mike? Zoe? So that's the first thing you need to understand, is it's not just about you, it's about other people's networks of people. So whoever you personally introduce us to or show the investigation to and they sign up, those people are considered your first level. Kind of like McDonald's. Whoever Wade signs up, that's considered your second level. Kind of like the burger franchise. And Mike signs up, whoever he signs up, that's considered your third level, like the burger franchise. But unlike the burger franchise, Zoe can actually make more money than the person above her. Do you think the burger cashier will ever out-earn the owner of the company? No. But this one you can. So let's say we take these first 6 people, which initially remember you made $2,400 on. So let's take those 6 people. Let's say they just cover their $200 minimum. The company will pay you 2% royalties on this level. So at this point, you're generating about $24 a month in income. Which that's not exciting, but that's still royalty income coming in every single month for the rest of your life, as long as they consume the products. Let's help those 6 people find 6 people. So now you're sitting at 36 people. If they just cover their minimum, the company pays you 5% royalties on this level. So if we do the math on that, right now this produces you a royalty check for $384 a month, every single month for the rest of your life, as long as they consume the products. But look at this. Do you think those 36 people know 6 people? You're now sitting at 216 people in your group. They cover their overhead. The company now pays you 9% royalties on everything on this level. Well, if you run the numbers, at this point, you've now created a $4,200 extra a month asset. How's that for plan B? Do the math one more time. You now have 1,296 people in your group. If they just cover their minimum of the 200, the company pays you 5% royalties on this level. At this point, you're now making over $17,000 a month. Now, when I looked at this, even if it took me 5 years to come down to this level, in royalty income, would that not be worth it? See, what happens is the next 5 years, your life is going to happen whether you do this or not. This company's going to grow whether you do this or not. It's just, we're in early enough to where the next 5 years maybe might look a little different. LifeVantage continues to pay you out several more levels, a total of 9, 5% all the way down, finish at 2% at the bottom. This can get better if people do more in their overhead, but that kind of gives you a base. Now what they also do is they will also give you a 10% match on everyone's paycheck you personally sign. Not a cut, but a match. So that gives you incentive to go out there and help your friends. So let's say your friends make $100. 6 people make $100. You're not going to get a 10% match on $600 every single month. Plus your 24, plus your initial one-time $2,400. Let's say these 36 people just make $100. LifeVantage will pay you a 5% match on all their checks. So now you're making 5% off of $3,600. 216 people just make $100. LifeVantage will also give you a 5% match on all their paychecks. So if they make $100, you're making $21,600, a 5% match off of that. They'll pay you a 5% match on the 4th level and 5th level. So you can see how it starts to add up. It's this royalties on top of this generational match, on top of this upfront money. Now let me ask you this. Do you think if you personally were actually clearing the $1,000 a month, could you see yourself traveling to $2,000 a month? If every single month you're seeing $2,000 a month in your mailbox, could you see yourself making $5,000? Now here's the big question. 5 to 10. I'm telling you right now, I'm not leaving until we have a lot of people established with these top 4 income ranks. Because at those ranks, there's a huge bonus. The company takes 4% of everything sold around the world and gives it back to the people at those levels. Whenever you hit level 7 in the company, you'll get 1 share of gross global sales to split every single month. Whenever you hit level 8, you get 2 shares of gross global sales to split every single month. Whenever you hit level 9, you get 3 shares of gross global sales to split every single month. And when you hit level 10, the company gives you 4% of gross global sales to split every month. And when I looked at this, when I looked at all the products and the market share that LifeVantage taps into, it's over a $300 billion industry that all our products cover. With our company, we started back in 2009. We're sitting in 11 countries. We just closed out a little over $200 million in sales. Our product's based off of Nerve 2 activation, which just happens to already have third-party peer-reviewed studies. How big is this pot going to be? Especially when you compare it to a company like Avon. Avon just cleared $11 billion in sales. Avon started back in 1886. Avon closed out of 112 countries and their flagship product's makeup. Compare that with that. So, here's more of the conversation plan. Appreciate you guys' time. Any questions, get with the person that shared it with you.
This wraps it up. If you don't know who Richard Branson is, that's okay. You might want to listen to what he says, though, because he is one of the best minds as an entrepreneur there is, and he simply says it best. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, and then learn how to do it later. Guys, that is the thinking of an entrepreneur. That is it. If you get an amazing opportunity like this and you say no, how many more are going to come your way?
So this has been some very exciting information, hasn't it? And a system for sharing information that anyone can follow to help them make extra income from these incredible products. For example, the person who shared this information with you, who really cares about you, invited you to watch this video. They may have also had you speak to other team members to help answer any of your questions. But the real question here is, did you see anything they did that you couldn't do? I mean, really, what did they actually do? So with that, please fill out this final feedback form to give us your feedback, and thank you so much for your time.